Live here from Ed Burns Stadium, it's Holy Spirit football here in the West Jersey Football League. Nick Costco alongside Dennis Smith, Matt Omer producing as always as the Spartans 1-1 on the season, hosting the Camden High Panthers, also 1-1 on another glorious Friday evening. Perfect weather, barely any clouds in the sky, and Dennis, we are ready for football after a huge victory by the Spartans last week over rival St. Joe's.
Huge victory last week. With that win over St. Joe's, 35-24, it's one of those things that at this point you need to keep that momentum going, because when you look at the schedule, you started off with DeMatha, and now you play St. Joe's last week, rivalry game, all fired up to play that game at home. Now you have Camden coming in, who is a very good football team, but may not have that rivalry piece to it because it's not somebody that Holy Spirit and in terms of athletics would ever play. I know there's been like one wrestling match and Camden came down and played the Seagull Classic, but that's it. So a very good test to see if Holy Spirit's able to carry their momentum after the 35-24 victory last week over St. Joe's.
Camden, of course, no pushover. They were 4-1 last season in the COVID-shortened 2020 season, and they were the Central Jersey Group 2 runners-up back in 2019, falling 31-23 to Cedar Creek. Camden won the toss tonight, and they elected to defer. So Holy Spirit, sporting the total navy blue uniforms with the gold helmets, will get the ball first. Camden, white helmets, white jerseys, purple pants. I'm a man of uniform combinations. Sharp-looking color scheme here tonight.
It is a sharp-looking color scheme tonight.
Nazir Dale to kick it away for Camden as we await the referee's whistle.
If his pants were actually up, it looked like they were down up over his knee, and I think there was some pads showing.
Yeah, that was Hameen Anderson on the bottom of your screen for Camden, number 1. We're set to go. Both teams looking to get their second win on the 2021 campaign. As Dale puts one on the ground, and that one's scooped up immediately by Marcus Lewis, who takes a dive just shy of the 45-yard line. And that's where Holy Spirit will begin things here this evening here in Absecon.
So good field position, Nick, for Holy Spirit to start off. Short field, hopefully. Nice job by Lewis that time to be aware that ball coming off the tee, a little funny. And able to fall on it and maintain possession for Holy Spirit. And Cohen looking to make some better decisions this week.
Through 3 interceptions last week, but Holy Spirit still came out with the win as Gavin Roman gets the handoff on first down, gets across the 45, just shy of midfield. Gain of a chunk. It'll be about 2nd and 5. But a nice way to start this drive out for the Spartans as Gavin Roman got the first carry, the hero last week.
Yes. And, Nick, I talked to Coach Russo today. He really wants to try to go with a true 50-50 balance today of run to pass. And I think they saw a lot against St. Joe's, especially when they had that early success of throwing the ball, that they tried to throw it a little bit too much.
Handoff goes to Roman on second down. He dropped the football, and the ball's still on the turf. And it looks like Camden recovered it. Roman had it back for a split second. The Panthers might have the football wait on the scrum.
Oh, third down.
Wow, I don't know how Spirit got the ball back. I want to say Jameer Smith is one who recovered it as he came out of the pile last. I'll tell you what, Dennis, I don't know how he fell on it, but that is a huge play. Even though Roman lost a yard in front of the football, Spirit keeps the ball here on third down.
Well, the fact that they still have possession is a huge play. Jameer Smith just somehow got himself to the bottom of that pile to pry the ball away.
3rd and 6 now for Holy Spirit as Smith goes in motion right to left. Cohen, play fake. Ball batted at the line of scrimmage. That one falls incomplete. And it'll be 4th down. And Holy Spirit, a team who never usually punts unless they're pinned deep in their own territory. Looks like they're going to go for it here on 4th down as they are just about at midfield.
Situation like that, you almost want your offensive lineman not necessarily to cut block, but you want to try to keep the taller defensive line for Camden to try to keep them. If you can get them off their feet, great. So Cohen has those throwing lanes to be able to make those completions.
Camden's a handful of big boys on that defensive front. Cohen on 4th down, hands off right side to Gavin Roman, and Roman's going to get across midfield, and it looks like he might just be short of the first down as Antoine Still Jr. knocked him out of bounds, and it will be a turnover on downs. So basically nothing doing for Holy Spirit on that first drive, and now we'll see the Panther offense.
And Panther offense, you got to look out for Teron Davis. He reminds me of a Darren Sproles type. Once he gets into the open field, he is going to make a lot of people miss. He's got a lot of wiggle in his plays, and they're going to be looking to throw the ball probably 75-80% of the time tonight.
Davis lines pretty much up all over the field. You'll see him in the backfield, but he only has 1 carry on the season. 9 catches coming into tonight, 126 yards and a touchdown. So when he has the ball in space, he goes a great distance. 1st and 10 for Camden. Lewis Ward in the shotgun. And we have some early movement already. That's Masai King, the left tackle, went early. And we are going to get a false start on Camden, back him up 5 yards.
And Camden has, you can see, we saw it on the defensive line, but you can also see it here on the offensive line. They have some big boys inside. 6'4", Masai King, number 51, is a 6'4" senior. They have another 6'4" senior, Adrian Coleman. So they have some big boys on that offensive line. Holy Spirit's looking to try to make pressure as much as possible, getting up the field and getting Camden hopefully behind the sticks in a situation like this where they're 1st and 15.
Both those guys you just mentioned, both listed at 6'4" and pushing 300, give or take 300 pounds. So good luck moving them. 1st and 15, Ward takes it. Quick flag again, and we have some probably more early motion here.
It looked like it was the wide receiver at the bottom of the screen. I guess that's Hameen Anderson. Looked like he jumped early just prior to the snap.
So Camden has not even run an official play yet. Back him up 5 more yards. 1st and 20 coming up. So sloppy start on both sides, just a minute and a half in.
One of the things I know Coach Russo was worried about defensively as well is they're not going to employ a spy per se for the quarterback for Ward, but they're worried about him breaking containment and making plays after he's broken through the pocket.
He can run a bit. He's run it 9 times for 55 yards. 1st and 20, draw play here. Spear was ready for it as Robert McDevitt gets the tackle for loss.
And that was one of the things that Coach Russo and I were talking about, is that he wants his D tackles up the field, push up the field, get in the slants, try to go through the splits, and try to get into the backfield and play the game in Camden's backfield.
2nd and forever at this point.
Let's see, 10, 15. I got to get my toes out and, like, your toes.
You need a couple bodies to measure that from up here.
2nd and 28.
They're backed up quite a bit. Dale goes in motion on 2nd and long. Ward looking, scrambling to his left now. He's going to try to take off, and he doesn't go anywhere. Just got across the 35-yard line. Holy Spirit's defense alive and well so far in this one as Eric Roman makes the tackle.
Yep, Eric Roman was able to get in, and that's one of the things that they were talking about, is that they want to send Roman. They want to get as much speed up the field as possible to try to pin him into the pocket. He did break the pocket there. McDevitt was the one who brought pressure up the middle. He flushed him, and then Roman was there, and then McDevitt was there to also help clean up in the end.
Got about 3rd and 24 coming up now for Camden. Both teams not doing much on offense so far in this first quarter. Compared to last week, Holy Spirit jumped out to a 14-0 lead before that became a seesaw affair. Trips to the right now for Camden. Ward in the shotgun again. 3rd and long. They'll drop straight back, and we got more whistles.
Delay a game that time?
Well, I'm looking for yellow laundry. We might have a timeout, actually.
Yep.
We have a flag on the floor. We do have a timeout. That'll be Camden's first, and not the best time to use it. Already using their first one of the half, and we are just barely over 3 minutes into this ball game.
So this would be the true feeling out process between two teams who have not seen each other. I know Holy Spirit football in the past has scrimmaged Camden, but again, you watch them on film as much as you can, but it's one of those things that you need to truly see what's going on the field, translating from what you did in the film room to seeing it on the field now. So I think you'll see a little bit more aggressiveness coming now, especially on the defensive side of the ball.
And football is really not the type of game you want to have a feeling out process, even early in a ball game. So Spirit's ready to get back to it. Camden breaking their huddle from the sideline. 3rd and 24. Ball just across their own 35-yard line. They've only gone backwards so far, 2 penalties. And -4 yards in total here for Camden. Ward in the shotgun, trips to the right again. He'll drop straight back, pressure, steps up, throws it downfield. Now one is incomplete. Oh, Kyron Nelson had a step. Ball went right through his hands.
Now, not that I'm making excuses, but he is looking back into the sun. It was a beautiful ball, great throw. He had time. He was able to put the right amount of air under it, but tough looking back into the sun. Ball went right through his hands, and Holy Spirit catches an early break because it should be 6-0 Camden.
And Nelson had a head full of steam towards the end zone. He was streaking. Coming into tonight, only 1 catch for 5 yards for him. But now that it's 4th down, Camden will punt. Montanez the punt, got off a weird one off the edge of the foot. And that'll just get back into Holy Spirit territory at the 45-yard line. So Holy Spirit takes over once again, virtually the same spot from their first drive.
Yes.
But they did not get a first down on their opening possession.
Nick, I'm going to say this. I'm going to go out on a limb right now. If Camden punts again tonight, Holy Spirit will get a blocked punt tonight. Slow snap back. Robert McDevitt was about a half-inch away from getting a blocked punt there. So I'm going to go out on that limb.
Well, he either got a piece of it, or Montanez just kicked it off the edge, off the end of his foot, off the side of his foot, and really didn't get enough boot underneath it. 1st and 10 now for Holy Spirit. Their own 45 as Cohen comes out in the shotgun again. Barking out signals to the rest of the offense. On 1st down, Roman gets the handoff. He'll get forward for about 2 yards. Be 2nd and 8 now for the Spartans.
One of the things that Holy Spirit's looking to do offensively this week is to kind of unleash their offensive linemen and let them just block downhill instead of trying to absorb and taking all those hits that they were taking in pass protection. They're able to get up the field and start pushing hopefully Camden defensive linemen down the field and opening up holes for Roman and Weaver and the rest of the running game.
We haven't seen Michael Weaver just yet. And speak of the devil, he's now in the backfield. On 2nd down, Cohen, another play fake, throws it over the middle. That one is caught by Stewart, hits the referee. Now Stewart comes over to the right side, across the 40-yard line. Stewart down the sideline, and he gets into the red zone. Huge play for Holy Spirit. Elijah Stewart shaken up a little bit after colliding with the official. But after a quiet week against St. Joe's, Elijah Stewart makes it his biggest play of the season.
And, Nick, that was one of the things that we talked about last week in trying to get Stewart open, was sending him on those short intermediate crossing routes. He runs that one literally right into the umpire who's behind the defense. And a great pick set by the umpire. And he's able to come off of that, bounce off it, keep his feet, and get down inside the Camden 25.
Probably got more yards because of that. Burns goes in motion right to left. Cohen, handoff up the gut to Weaver, trying to bounce to the outside. He'll gain a few. Decent pickup there on 1st down. 2nd down coming up for Holy Spirit as Weaver gets his first carry of the ball game.
And you can still see Weaver. I mean, he's been more of a rover on defense for his career here at Holy Spirit. He was a running back and offensive player in JFL, but he's still trying to kind of get his feet in terms of running the football. He's not quite as decisive at times as you see with Gavin Roman.
Yeah, talk about going from purely a defensive specialist last year to now you're one of the rotational backs on the offense. 2nd and 7 now for Holy Spirit. Cohen back to throw. Going to the end zone. That one is reeled in and caught for the touchdown. It's Elijah Stewart, his first of the season, and Holy Spirit strikes first.
And one of the things that we had talked about last week is how you had St. Joe's rolling the safety coverage over the top because St. Joe's, Paul Sacco says, I don't want Elijah Stewart to beat us. I want Gavin Roman to beat us. I want Michael Weaver to beat us. I want somebody else to beat us, and ultimately they did. But I don't think you're going to see that as much here with Camden rolling a safety over the top. And really last week, St. Joe's was almost triple teaming Elijah. You had at whatever side he lined up on, that linebacker was also hedging out and taking that away.
Forte for the extra point, and it is perfect. 7-0 Holy Spirit. Forte now 7 of 7 on extra points this season. And after a slow start to this game, Holy Spirit right down the field, courtesy of 2 catches from Elijah Stewart.
2 catches from Elijah Stewart, and they got some momentum from their defense. Camden made a couple mistakes, pre-snap penalties. Absolutely happened. That put Camden behind the sticks, and that's not something that they're going to feel comfortable in. Holy Spirit gets a break on the drop ball on 3rd and forever. That could have been a touchdown for Camden. They get maybe a piece of the punt and take over in good field position, and then 4 plays later, they're in the end zone.
Well, that's where you have to take advantage of those missed opportunities from Camden. So with 6:29 to go here in the first quarter, Spartans with a 7-0 lead, courtesy of a touchdown pass from Trevor Cohen to Elijah Stewart.
And I know Elijah was frustrated last week, but he knew. He was telling me today, because he came into my office today, we were talking about it today, he whenever he lined up on the St. Joe sideline, you could hear Sacco and the whole defensive staff screaming, know where 11 is, know where 11 is, know where 11 is. And that was the key for the safety to always be over the top and for that outside linebacker to shed or to push to his side to be able to take that inside away.
Stewart's been a heck of a receiver for this program over the last, counting this year, 3 years, dating back to Holy Spirit's championship season in 2019. Camden sending their guys up. Not expecting a deep kick from Holy Spirit. This one's put on the ground. Ball's loose, and it is picked up. It might still be loose in the pile, but Camden did recover. It looked like Jemai Tyson, the first one to fall on it for the Panthers. So they'll set up shop just across the 40-yard line. As you know, Feliciano is really not going to boot it deep. They're going to put a lot of them on the ground and hope for those knuckleball kicks right there.
Well, that's it. You're hoping to maybe catch somebody. That's why it was such a nice play by Lewis on the opening kickoff by Camden, that you're not necessarily aware of what's going to happen at any given time, but he was aware, was able to fall on it and give Holy Spirit that possession. But if you know, did you see how Feliciano put the ball on the tee? It's literally flat to the ground, and he just kicks the meat of the ball.
Everyone's got their styles. On first down, Ward play fake comes to the left side. That one is caught, but Holy Spirit is right there as Davis had nowhere to go. Gavin Roman and Jaden Lanos in on the tackle.
Nice job defensively that time to read that quick hitch or bubble screen or something along those lines, wide receiver screen. Nicely done, diagnosed. That's doing your film work, knowing what your keys are, and then going after it and making a solid tackle.
All hats to the football. 2nd and 10. About halfway through, a little more than halfway through now in the first quarter.
Trips to the top.
It's been their standard so far tonight. Ward hasn't gone under center just yet. Back to throw over to the left side. That one is caught. Gavin Roman with another tackle. He is all over the place. Camden really had nowhere to go as Kenneth Carter Jr. gets a chunk back, but it'll be about 3rd and 6.
And it was one of those things you could see as Ward came back. As soon as he took the snap, he was looking immediately to his left, and he was looking to get the ball to Carter. But again, another solid tackle by Roman to limit the gain and the run after catch.
3rd and 6 now for Camden. They need something, trailing 7-0. Ward dropping straight back, looking over the middle, and it is incomplete. Looking in the direction of Anderson. Good coverage there by the Spartans, and it's 4th down again. And here comes the punting unit once again.
And a nice drop that time by Marcus Lewis to get into the passing lane. He was able to throw off the wide, not only the wide receivers concentration, but he was able to kind of take away that window that Ward was trying to throw that ball into.
So Camden's had the ball twice. Good field position near midfield, but they have not crossed into Holy Spirit territory yet. Montanez on to punt. Stewart is back to return if he gets a chance. High snap again. That one nearly blocked, but he got off a better punt that time. Stewart will catch and run. Going to the left side, makes one man miss. Off to the left sideline goes Elijah Stewart crossing midfield, and he's forced out of bounds in Camden territory. So Elijah Stewart, risky play, but had a running start, and Holy Spirit set up shop in Camden territory.
And it was one of those plays that if he doesn't make that catch, it's probably inside the 20 on a bounce. So it's a nice job by him to come up, make the catch, and save that hidden field position. Not only are they not inside the 20, but they're in Camden territory or right at the midfield stripe, and save 30 yards of field position.
Holy Spirit looking to add to their lead now. 1st and 10 from midfield. Cohen alone in the backfield in the shotgun. Dropping straight back, pressure coming. Now he's flushed to the right. Cohen going to scramble, trying to head for the sideline. He's forced out of bounds. He's going to lose a few. Anderson on the force out.
He was flushed immediately. There seemed to be the way that the defensive lineman had come in. I almost thought it was going to be a screenplay, and I was looking for where the running back had gotten to, so he'd be able to dump it off. But he was under immediate pressure that time from the Camden front line.
Be a loss of about, we'll call it 3+. It is ruled a sack, of course, because he did go backwards. 2nd and 13 now. Jameer Smith coming over to the right side of the bottom of your screen. Roman in the backfield. Cohen, handoff up the gut to Roman. Not much. Got about a yard, maybe 2, depending upon the spot. 3rd and long coming up now for the Spartans.
Nice job that time by Camden middle linebacker Antoine Still Jr. He was able to knife in and make contact as soon as Roman got to the line of scrimmage, and Roman was able to run through him a little bit to get about a yard, and it's going to set up 3rd and long for Holy Spirit.
3rd and 12. 2 receivers each side now for the Spartans. Cohen in the shotgun. Takes it. Direct run by the quarterback, and he gets maybe a yard. Odd play design there as Cohen. It was a designed quarterback run, but there was no room to go, and it's 4th down. Just shy of midfield, so you know Holy Spirit's going to go for it here.
So still enticing in on the tackle for Camden. But it was one of those, we saw him do that a couple times last week, and I kept saying, let it develop. Let those guys get up the field. Let those lanes develop. He took a stutter step right away, and Still, the middle linebacker for the Panthers, read it right away and knifed into the lane and made the tackle.
4th and 11. Now we have
timeout.
Whistles, and so we're going to get a timeout. And that's Camden's second. They've used 2 timeouts now here in the first quarter. So with 3:10 remaining, Holy Spirit has a 7-0 lead. But really, other than the 2 big plays on their last drive, you have both courtesy of catches from Elijah Stewart, where one we ran to the official, basically serving as a pick play, then his touchdown reception. Both offenses have pretty much sputtered so far here within the first 12 minutes.
And it's one of those things that you worry about it from a Holy Spirit point of view. Are they coming down off of that high of playing a national power week 0, and then your rival, your number 1 rival in your playoff group the next week, and have that emotional letdown of now just playing Camden? And I don't mean that as a slight, and I don't, because I know how good Camden is. But it's hard to bring that every week, but it's something that they need to do because of who is what and what is on their schedule for the rest of the year.
Camden, of course, a big-time player in South Jersey in the Group 2 sectional. 4th and 11. The Holy Spirit's going to go for it here. Ball just shy of midfield. Cohen dropping back, stepping up, looking, flush now. Cohen is going to throw it over to the 40-yard line. It is caught by Sean Burns. Does he have enough for the first down? It's going to depend on the spot.
It looks like it's right at the stripe. I think that's what he had to, at least the nose has to touch the stripe, and it is a first down.
Yeah, wow, no measurement. Heads up play there by Cohen. Kept his eyes downfield. Sean Burns, a little bit of a toe tap there on the sideline. Camden, of course, frustrated, and now I think we're getting some argument from the Camden sideline. It's got to be on the spot. Of course, we have no instant replay at this level, so you can't. So he was ruled inbounds. They do want a measurement where the ball is spotted. Looks like the nose, at least from our vantage point, the nose is clearly on the 40-yard line. The first down marker across the way is on the 40 as well.
Well, remember, the ball was on the 50 to start. So if any part of the ball is touching the 40, it's going to be have made the yard to gain, and it's going to be a first down for Holy Spirit.
They definitely want. They're arguing for a measurement or even a spot, but they're not going to get it. So it is first down for Holy Spirit, courtesy of the reception from Sean Burns, who had himself a big game last week. First and 10. Medina goes in motion. Cohen back, looking, going downfield, left sideline, incomplete. He was looking for Burns that time as Brahim Long was in on the coverage. Long, one of the best defenders on the Panthers defense, does have an interception this year. 7 pass deflections within the first 2 games, so he is definitely a ball hawk. Got to watch out for him.
And a 5'10 sophomore, so the fact that he's got that kind of ball ability is great, and have that as a sophomore, whereas you expect maybe a senior to be that. But I noticed that time Holy Spirit's wide receivers did not get off the line of scrimmage very well. They didn't get a clean break off the line of scrimmage. Camden now pressing up on the Holy Spirit wide receivers, and now you could again see at the bottom of the screen a safety over the top to Stewart's side as he's down here at the bottom of the screen.
Israel Clark White going to be pressing Stewart here on second down. Cohen in the shotgun again. Roman's in the backfield. Yep. Cohen, toss left to Roman, trying to get away, gets nowhere. He's going to lose a yard. Tremendous play by Calvin Coley for the tackle for loss. It's going to be 3rd and long now for Holy Spirit.
So Calvin Coley, a strong safety, came up on the line of scrimmage, came into the box, and I saw what they were trying to do because you had the safety over the top down here at the bottom of the screen over Stewart. They were trying to get the ball to the wide side of the field, but Coley did a nice job of chasing Roman down once he got outside of the tackle.
Pretty much forced him to stutter step back inside as well. 3rd and 11 for Holy Spirit. They're in Camden territory, though. They haven't been backed up yet tonight here in this first quarter. It's a little over 2 minutes to play in the opening frame. Stewart, the lone receiver, to the bottom of your screen. Cohen, play action, looking, going downfield. Juan Smith over top, and he can't hit him. Just overshot him as Jameer Smith had a step on Hameen Anderson. He would have walked into the end zone, but it's 4th down now for Holy Spirit. And of course, you know they are going to go for it here in Camden territory. A little too close for a punt. I mean, they don't. I mean, they could be at their own 40 and they won't punt either.
Exactly. We saw that before. But last 4th down, nice job by Cohen once he broke the pocket, and an even better job by Burns to have the awareness of where he was on the field to make sure he kept both feet in bounds, didn't step out of bounds before he caught the ball, and then to get far enough to get that first down.
4th and 11. Empty set now for Cohen. Burns to the bottom of your screen. Cohen, quarterback run up the guy. He's got a head full of steam. Got the first down and more across the 25-yard line. How about that? That time it worked. First down Spartans, courtesy of Trevor Cohen.
That time it worked because the offensive linemen were able to get to the second level and take out the linebackers. With Holy Spirit going into that double slot, it took the 2 outside linebackers to go on to the slot receivers. So there was only one guy. As long as one offensive lineman was able to get off of their guy, they would make that block, and that's what he did.
Nice play design that time. 1st and 10 from the 24. Handoff up the gut goes to Roman. Trying to push the pile forward. He gets across the 20-yard line. Gets a nice chunk. Gave him about 5 on the play. Second down coming up for Holy Spirit.
That time Stewart was lined up at the top of the formation, at the top of the screen, and the Camden defensive back, is pressing up, pushing him out of bounds, doing whatever he can. Brahim Long, that is a 5'10 sophomore, doing whatever he can to try to eliminate Stewart from the offense.
A little over a minute to go here in the first. Holy Spirit knocking on the door now as they're in the red zone. Weaver in the backfield. Pistol. Cohen. Handoff to Weaver up the gut. Flag down as Weaver's chopped down at about the 16-yard line. We'll wait on the flag, and we do have some extracurriculars on the far side of the field involving Elijah Stewart. It looks like Hameen Anderson.
That's probably going to be a motion penalty against Holy Spirit.
Beg your pardon, it looks like Brahim Long on the far side.
Yeah, it looks like Long is going to be the one that's locking up with Stewart.
Waiting on the flag, and Holy Spirit's already backing up.
Illegal formation.
So back him up on the illegal procedure. Second and 11 now. Holy Spirit, no rush here. Of course, it's only first quarter. They hold a 7-0 lead. Ball control could be the name of the game today. And now we have more whistles.
Timeout, Holy Spirit.
That'll be Spirit's first timeout of the half. Camden already used 2 in this quarter as well.
Nick, and I think what you're looking to see here is, and you said it, ball control. If Camden is going to be successful in eliminating Holy Spirit's wide receivers by going into that press coverage, you're going to need a running game that's going to be able to take the pressure off and force, if they spread them out and go into that double slot look, that's going to force those linebackers out onto the slots and go from there. And that's when they're going to have the ability to run the football effectively between the tackles.
Well, Camden's ready to get back to it after this timeout. If you just joined us, Nick Costco alongside Dennis Smith, Matt Ulmer, of course, producing and filming tonight's broadcast. Both teams 1-1 on the young 2021 season. Both coming off wins as well. Holy Spirit defeated St. Joseph Hamilton 35-24, their arch rival, last week. And Camden squeaked out a 14-12 win over South Jersey-powered Timber Creek. Second and 11. Cohen takes it, play fake. Pressure coming, flush, steps up in the pocket, going towards the end zone, and it is incomplete. Looking for Jameer Smith. Good coverage there by Anderson. Smith had some space, but ball thrown a little bit towards the back of the end zone, and Anderson closed quick. It'll be third and long now for Holy Spirit.
And he was very quickly running out of space on the back of that, and it was nice closing speed that time by Anderson to get to the ball and to get to Smith at the same time. So it was probably a ball that needed to be thrown a little bit shorter and a little bit sooner. But good protection that time. Trevor Cohen had a good pocket that he could step up into and make that throw.
Third down, handoff goes to Roman. He's going to get loose. Gavin Roman across the 10, and he's down near the 5-yard line. First down, Holy Spirit. That should be the final play of the quarter unless they rush here. But a tremendous job by Gavin Roman. Now we have more. Beg your pardon. We heard a whistle, but now they're going to run the clock. And Holy Spirit content with that one. We'll hit the end of the first quarter. So after the first 12 minutes, Holy Spirit will have first and goal when we start the second quarter. 7-0 Spartans over Camden. You're watching New Jersey High School Football. Back here at Ed Burns Stadium, Nick Costco alongside Dennis Smith, Matt Omer producing tonight's broadcast. First and goal for Holy Spirit from the 6-yard line. They're set up nicely by a nice run by Gavin Roman.
And I would think that if they're going to try to punch, they're going to be aggressively trying to punch this in by running it. Obviously, because they're running out of space. Obviously, when you get into the red zone, it's tough. But I look to see them running this in.
Handoff goes to Weaver. He bobbled the football, but he falls right back on it. And we also have a flag down. I believe now he's going to wave it off. Looks like that flag fell out of the pocket, so no penalty. Weaver, he might have actually gained a yard on that fumble. Bobbled that, botched exchange there between Cohen and Weaver.
Well, and that gets back to not being comfortable in terms of taking handoffs and doing it every season for the last 3 years.
Second and goal from the 5. Roman back in the backfield. Burns coming in motion. The bottom of your screen. Now we'll get a flag, and this looks like it's going to be on Holy Spirit. That'll be a false start. Back him up 5 yards, and in this territory of the field, that's a big 5 yards. So second and goal now coming up from the 11.
It is a big 5 yards, but it gives them a little bit more space to try to operate if they are going to try to throw the ball or looking to do kind of flares or quick rollouts. Interesting that time, I think it was J.V. McGee, the Holy Spirit center, who had the false start because the snap came back prior to Trevor Cohen being ready for it.
Second and goal. Cohen. Handoff. Roman up the gut. He'll get about 2 yards on the play. Not what they were hoping for. Third and goal now.
Definitely not what they were hoping for. But again, Camden's putting everybody up into the box. And that time, Nair Graham, outside linebacker, doesn't have to worry about somebody set up in the slot. He's able to come crashing down and bring Roman down after a gain of 1.
This has been a more methodical drive for Spirit. Their lone touchdown drive, they had 2 big plays, both courtesy of Elijah Stewart. Third and goal from the 8. 2 receivers left. Roman's in the backfield. Cohen back, throwing, wide open is Jameer Smith for the touchdown.
We have a flag. There is a flag down.
Hold the phone.
It looked like it was Deshaun Teller. Are they going to call an illegal man downfield?
Holding on Spirit. So back him up. And beg your pardon, that was Deshaun Teller. Would have been his first catch of the year, actually. So we'll wipe out that entire play from our memory and back him up to the 20-yard line for third and goal. I'll tell you what, it was a holding penalty, but Teller was wide open.
That was a blown coverage, for sure. You generally don't want tight ends roaming free in the end zone.
Teller standing at 6'1", 225 pounds. So yeah, you don't want him roaming free. No. He can hit he'll break some tackles for sure. Big presence, and now more whistles. Timeout Camden. That's their third and final timeout of the half. Not the best time. There are 10 minutes to go in the half.
There are 10 minutes to go in the half, so don't look for them to be running any 2-minute drills anytime soon. I believe there was some consternation from the Camden coaching staff who is above us in the booth. They were trying to get. There was definitely a substitution that they were looking to make. That they wanted to get into the game, and you saw one of their players come on the field late, and that's when they called the timeout because, I mean, it's one of those things. There's 10 minutes left in the half, but this is a big possession. If they can keep Holy Spirit off the board and maybe try to finally get something going offensively, it could be where they finally find their footing.
And Mason Forte has not attempted a field goal this season.
Look for some combination out here at the bottom of the screen between Burns and Stewart running almost an out and up or some type of cross.
Cohen, handoff, Roman left side, has some space, trying to get to the edge to the 15. Roman knocked out of bounds at about the 12-yard line, so he gets a decent chunk there, but it will be 4th and goal. And now, if you're Holy Spirit, what do you do? And it looks like they are, and some substitutions coming on. We might actually get a field goal attempt here. We will.
Yes, he is on the field. Mason Forte is on the field.
Rare sighting here. Forte is 7 of 7 on his extra points this season. And this one will be a 29-yard attempt. For his first one of the year. Spirit trying to make this a 2-score game.
Camden has this side overloaded on the line.
Snap, hold, kick on the way, and it is good. Hooked it in. It is 10-0 Holy Spirit, courtesy of Mason Forte's first field goal of the season from 29 yards out.
And a nice job. Was not as pretty as the extra point that he kicked down at the other end, but he was able to bring it through the uprights and put 3 on the board for Holy Spirit. So they turn it into a 2-possession game. Camden does get the stop, but also to get a little bit of confidence. I mean, Forte's been money on extra points. But again, nice job by Stewart, who's the holder there, because you never know if that's going to turn into a trick play where he's going to roll out and go opposite or whatever. But it gets Forte some confidence. It gets the Holy Spirit offense some confidence, even though it was up and down with the penalties, specifically the holding penalty and the holding penalty, which wiped out the touchdown. But they go up 2 scores.
They'll take their points, and with the way Camden's offense has been operating so far, that just seems like a huge lead right now.
Yes.
Feliciano to kick it away, and he has that ball set up in the unique fashion, flat on the tee. Just under 10 minutes to go here in the half. Feliciano to the left side. It's loose. It's bouncing on the ground, and a heads-up play there by Camden. That's Nazir Dale with the recovery.
Got a little worried for Camden when number 8 let it go over his head and that was Antoine Still let it go over his head, and I'm thinking that may not have been the best decision, but they were able to get on it and inside or outside their 40. So again, short field.
It's the most action Dale's gotten so far. He leads the team this year with 34 carries, 88 yards, and a touchdown through 2 games. Hasn't only gotten involved on offense so far here this evening. But he's in the backfield now for Camden. It actually seems like forever since we've seen the Panther offense in the field. Ward coming out in the shotgun. Takes it. Handoff Dale up the gut. He lost the football. It's on the ground, and Holy Spirit's got it. George Coles with the recovery right about the 45-yard line.
Nice job that time. I believe it was Jameer Smith who put his helmet in there, and he put his helmet right on the ball. It popped out, and it rolled right to George Coles, who on the fly, as he was going down, was able to scoop and roll over and make the recovery for Holy Spirit.
Proper technique right there. 9:49 to go here in the half. Holy Spirit up 10-0, and now the fumble recovery from Coles sets him up in Camden territory. They can make this a 3-score game. 1st and 10 from the 47. Two receivers each side.
Yep, double slot. Tight to this side, to the bottom of the screen.
Cohen, quick throw. Stewart is wide open to the 30, cuts inside. Goodbye, Elijah Stewart to the house. Touchdown, Holy Spirit.
And Nick, you could see with that the tightness by coming into the boundary on this side, there was an absolute blown assignment again in the Camden defense. And the last person that you want to leave in a blown assignment is number 11, who at any point in time when he's in the open field, he's going to pull away and score the touchdown.
That's Stewart's second touchdown reception of the night. That one from 47 yards out. So after a quiet night last week against their rival St. Joe's, Stewart having a breakout game here on the young season. Forte on for the extra point. That one on the way, and he got it. Look at that boot. That could have been good from about 40.
Much more conventional and up in the air, but Holy Spirit puts up 10 points in 16 seconds to make this a 3-score game as they lead 17-0 over the Panthers.
Now it is crunch time. Again, we are still early in the second quarter, 9:40 to go, but it could be crunch time already for Camden to get something going because you give up the field goal, you're down 2 scores, your offense has not been going really anywhere so far tonight, and then you fumble it, turn it over, and it results in more points for the Spartans. So down 17-0. I mean, you might see some deep shots now from the Camden Panthers.
And the turnover, it was the quick change nature of not only the turnover, but then the scoring strike right off of that with a blown coverage. So that's when you start to see things along that nature, and you're an hour and a half away from home, it's one of those you're already down 17-0. It's time where heads and bodies, and we've all seen it, get on the bus. Even though they're not physically on the bus, the heads and everybody else are.
A long ways to go, though.
Yep, way long way. Too much athleticism and too much talent on that Camden sideline.
So far, this is not the same team that took down Timber Creek last week. Feliciano puts one on the ground. Ball is loose, and I think Camden just got that one back.
They're getting closer, although that time it was Still who let the last one go over his head. This time he was able to get the coverage.
Nelson also on the recovery, helping him out. There is a flag down.
Late hit, maybe?
Maybe an extra Spartan jumped in the pile a little too late. We're going to wait on the call here. And that's going to be after the fact. That one's on Spirit. Personal foul. So that'll boot him up into Spartan territory. And actually, Dennis, this is the best field position Camden's had all night, and this time it's courtesy of a penalty spotted right here at the Holy Spirit 38.
And it's one of those things, you just took the 3-score lead. You don't want to give them any momentum.
Ward in the shotgun. Play fake. Flush to his right. He's going to take off. Ward across the 35, now the 30. Ward forced out of bounds just shy of the 25-yard line. And looks like he might have enough for a first down.
That is the one fear that I know Coach Russo and the defense were worried about, was him being able to break that pocket, get outside, and do damage running the football. And that time he gets 10 and a half. Cole's made a nice job coming off the receiver once he crossed the line of scrimmage, forcing him to the sideline and knocking him out of bounds at the 27.
Fresh set of downs here for the Panthers at the Spirit 27-yard line. Anderson in the backfield, or beg your pardon, Nelson in the backfield. Ward will give it to Nelson, trying to get up the gut. Gain about 3, maybe 4 with an extra push. So Camden, it's only 2 plays so far, but little forward momentum here as they're trying to cut this lead back down to 2 scores.
Nelson did a nice job finishing that run, leaning forward instead of getting pushed back. And he ran into his linemen, but they were, all you saw was white, and we had a really good angle on it because we're looking down on it as they're going that way. You didn't see any blue getting into the backfield like you did earlier in the game.
Nelson actually now at positive yards on the season. He only had 1 carry coming in tonight for negative 2 yards, so everything positive right now for Camden. 2nd and 6.
Watch out for Davis in the slot.
Ward looking downfield, and it is intercepted. This is Weaver coming back the other way. And he'll be knocked out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Michael Weaver grabbing the interception, and another turnover for Camden.
And I will say that time it looked like Weaver was reading Ward's eyes and was able to bait him to throw that ball over the middle. And I don't know that Ward saw Weaver, and I don't know how he couldn't see Weaver, considering he's one of the best defenders in the defensive secondary.
A lot of blue shirts where that ball was thrown for sure. 1st and 10 now for Holy Spirit.
Late lineup here by the Camden defense.
Remember, they have no timeouts remaining in this half. Cohen Dropping back pressure, stepping up. Cohen avoiding the rush, and he is going to be brought down behind the 30-yard line as Graham will get the sack.
Nice job by Graham that time, a little stick-to-itiveness. He came off the edge unblocked. He forced Cohen up into the pocket. Cohen was trying to pick his way through, and he was able to come back, and Graham was able to come back and make the sack.
2nd and 13 from the 30. So Spirit's woken up offensively, but Camden trying to keep this one within reach here in this first half. Remember, once you hit that 33-point mark, you get that running clock. Not that close to it yet, but Spirit can certainly score in a hurry as Gavin Roman gets the handoff going forward. He'll get back up to the 35. They're going to spot him down at the 36.
And we talked about finishing a run. Gavin did that time as well. He was able to fall forward to gain that extra yard and now make it a 3rd and 8, 3rd and 7.5 maybe. But I look here again. I think they're going to look at it from play calling. Looking at it from a play calling standpoint. All right, I got 2 downs to make 7 yards. So you could conceivably see a run here and see what happens, especially if they have the ability to spread them out and go with that double slot. Although they're going to go, looks like 2 to the top, and then Stewart down here by himself.
Holy Spirit's not shy about going for it on 4th down, even this deep in their own territory. Hand off to Roman again, trying to cut to the left side, back up the middle. He'll get up to the 40-yard line, so he's going to be short. It's about 4th and 3 now for Holy Spirit, and I don't see the punting unit. So there you go. Oh, well, once they're within 60 yards of the end zone, it's time to rule out any special teams.
The other piece of that, though, too, Nick, is that the defense is playing so well. They force turnovers. They've put Camden in long-range situations that they're not necessarily worried, and I'll put that in air quotes, worried about if they do turn the ball over here at the 40-yard line.
Last possession for Camden started at the Holy Spirit 38, and Ward was picked off by Weaver. 4th and a long 3. Cohen
Here they
takes
come.
it. Play fake, over the middle, got Stewart again. Stewart trying to cross midfield, going to cut to the right side, and he is going to be brought down at the Camden 48-yard line, but not before he gets another Holy Spirit first down.
There is no truth to the rumor that I told Stewart today to head and look out for the umpire and try to run him over every time. There's no truth to that rumor. I did not tell Elijah to do that.
That is about the 3rd time Stewart's almost collided with the official. Of course, he did collide with him on his first catch.
Yes. But that time, Stewart was able to get that inside release on the slant, and if you're running a slant and you get an inside release, it was going to be an automatic pitch and catch for a first down.
That's a killer so far for the Panther defense. 1st and 10, Cohen takes it again, play fake, flush to his left, avoids the rush. Cohen looking, downfield, wants Burns. He made the catch! Flags down as Sean Burns catches it down to the Camden 25-yard line. Now we get more flags. Brahim Long made the tackle. He was in on the coverage. We're going to wait to see what the flags are. There are 3 down, actually.
There are flags everywhere.
It is laundry day here at Ed Burns Stadium.
But the difference on that throw by Cohen is that he set his feet. Last week, he had happy feet and wasn't able to set and make that throw. That's a nice job by Cohen setting his feet and firing downfield, and a great contested catch by Burns.
Officials are conferencing. One's talking to head coach A.J. Russo down on the Spirit sideline, trying to see if there's any indication on the flag yet.
Holding on the defense.
And a defensive holding, that one's declined, so there were multiple flags down. So the play will count. It's going to be first down for Holy Spirit, but we do get a personal foul, unsportsmanlike conduct after the fact.
And I'm assuming, Nick, that's probably some sort of taunting after the catch.
Could be. I couldn't tell who it was ruled on. I mean, Burns was excited after he caught the ball, but, I mean, I didn't see anything within the area of taunting or unsportsmanlike conduct, but that's just our vantage point up here. Still first down, though, for Holy Spirit.
Yeah, it should be
we're gonna wait on this play as they have to reset the chains. It is a first down. The referee did rule first down for Holy Spirit. Ball at the Camden 38.
Now with the dead ball, do they set the chains at the dead ball location before the penalty? No, it'll go 1st and 10 from that spot. Okay. Oh, which it may or may not be. That's true. Good point.
Official did rule first down. They have to reset again. Now they're going to move the chains up now.
I'm sure the Camden coaching staff is thrilled. They don't look too happy on that sideline.
It is 15. It is 15 yards from where Burns caught it.
That is true.
So they got everything correct. 1st and 10. Handoff, Roman up the middle. Not much room, and he's brought down by a host of Panthers. Graham, the first one there to get him, along with Still. Second down.
Nice job by their linebackers that time. Again, the defensive line doing a nice job keeping the Holy Spirit offensive linemen in a pen, so to speak, so they're not able to get to that second level to make that blocking.
Under 5 to go here in the first half. 17-0. Holy Spirit on top. Of course, looks like Roman actually lost a yard, maybe about a half yard. So we'll call it 2nd and 11.
Of course, last week against St. Joe's, Holy Spirit lost Justin McNulty during the game to an injury. He is still out with that injury.
Cohen, play fake on 2nd down, stepping up, flushed out to the right side, gets away. Cohen trying to get to the edge. Cohen forced out of bounds across the 35, gets a nice little chunk. 3rd down coming up, though, for Holy Spirit, forced out of bounds by Graham.
So when he breaks the pocket like that, you want it to be a positive play. A positive play can be throwing it out of bounds and living to fight another day because you've set your feet. Or, in like that case, he's able to outrun 2 Camden defenders, get out of bounds, gain 6 yards, almost 7, to set up a more manageable 3rd and 4, 3rd and 3.5.
3rd and 4. 2 receivers at the bottom of the screen. It's Burns and Smith. Cohen. Handoff. Left side. Roman trying to get to the edge. Makes a cut to the 30. Brought down, and that will be enough for a Holy Spirit first down.
I was a little worried. I thought the defensive end was going to come in and blow that play up because he was able to get upfield. But Roman was able to get outside of the block and turn upfield and get the first down at the 27-yard line of the Panthers.
1st and 10.
You can't see him. He hides behind the lineman.
Holy Spirit will spend their second timeout of the half here. They have 1 remaining. Camden has none. 3:53 to play here in the half. Spirit with a 17-0 lead after a Mason Forte field goal. Michael Weaver nabbed an interception, and Holy Spirit promptly scored on a 47-yard connection between Trevor Cohen and Elijah Stewart.
And, Nick, we talked about that. Camden took over that possession at the Holy Spirit 38-yard line, their best starting field position of the game, and we're starting to put some plays together. And it was one of those things that you're wondering, okay, is this where Camden now finally gets their footing and they're able to step in and make this into a game? But Holy Spirit trying to make that otherwise, and now want to step on the throat.
They forced 2 turnovers tonight, Holy Spirit has a fumble and a pick. 1st and 10. Cohen, handoff, left side Roman, trying to make a cut, but he has nowhere to go as Camden all over Marquise Davis, the first one there to make the tackle for the Panthers.
So Davis was the one who got up the field last time for Camden, and Roman was able to get outside of him. That time, Roman was not able to get outside of him as Davis was able to push his way and Jesse Bartlett, the offensive lineman for Holy Spirit, into the backfield and then make the tackle and bring Roman down for a loss of about 3.
Davis has 3 sacks on the year for Camden coming into tonight. 2nd and 13. Cohen. Handoff again. Roman. Basically got the lost yardage back. It's going to be 3rd and 10 now.
And Davis again on the tackle. He's starting to assert himself against Bartlett.
Davis is standing at 6'3". He's got the length at that defensive end position. He was tied for the team lead in sacks coming in tonight with Marcus Johnson, who's on the opposite side for Camden, big number 7. Also a big man himself, 6'4" at 220 pounds. 3rd and 11. Empty set here for Cohen. Teller, the wingback, and Cohen, direct snap. He's going to take off and run across the 20 to the 15. Cohen cuts inside, breaks a tackle. Trevor Cohen in for a touchdown.
A great run by Cohen as he was able to spin off the tackle around the 7-yard line and finish the run in the end zone. Poor tackling that time by the Panther defense as Cohen just continued to bounce off of Panthers and find his way to pay dirt for the touchdown.
Just another day at the office for the senior quarterback and Rutgers baseball commit. 2:25 remaining here in the half. Spirit up 23-0, penning this extra point here for Mason Forte.
Offside against Camden as the end came in, and it's a dead ball as soon as Camden breaks the plane of the line of scrimmage. It is an automatic dead ball.
Like Israel Clark White, one of the guys who jumped a little bit early. And Forte had a perfect boot there again. But the play.
And Holy Spirit will decline the penalty.
Interesting.
I think
not that it's much, but
right.
you move the ball up half the distance. Forte, 7 of 7 this year. I beg your pardon. 8 of 8 this year on extra points. Movement again. He boots another one good. We might have to do this again a third time.
He's trying to reach the soccer field.
I mean, his last extra point could have been good from about 45. Now they're offsides, and Holy Spirit once again declines, so we're going to try this for a third time.
But looking at the Cohen touchdown, good decision, got across the line of scrimmage, and finished it.
Forte's extra point is good that time. He's 9 of 9 on the year, 3 of 3 tonight. Also has a field goal from 29 yards out, and Camden nearly jumped again. But it is 24-0. Holy Spirit out in front with just a little under 2.5 to go before we reach the halftime break. And just going back to what you said, Dennis, about the Trevor Cohen touchdown, able to break. He breaks the pocket once again, gets out to the left. It was a designed quarterback run.
Right.
You don't expect him to run off for 25 yards and a touchdown. Yet he does. Gets the first down. All right, he's going to get bottled up. And he somehow broke those 2 tacklers and managed to reach for the end zone.
Well, and that was it. And it was because you're like, okay, got down inside the 10. We got the first down. You're like, okay, if he goes down, that's great. We're first and goal. But he was not to be denied. And, again, making good decisions, spinning, protecting the football, doing a nice job, bouncing off of would-be tacklers for Camden, and then giving the Spartans a 24-0 lead.
Another great crowd out here for the Holy Spirit faithful. Great to see this. After last season, Feliciano puts one on the ground. Ball is loose, and Nazir Dale. Boy, that's why they call it the hands team, is he's recovered 2 of the last 3. We'll call them quote-unquote onside kicks there for Holy Spirit, little short pooch kicks.
I will tell you, Weaver and Sean Burns were both coming down on that, trying to get in and get possession for Holy Spirit, trying to give them an extra possession going into the half.
They can't hit the running clock total. That is at 33 points, and they're only at 24, so even another touchdown wouldn't get them there. But
so what are you looking for, a turnover here?
Could be. There's already been 2 tonight.
That's true.
But we bring that up because that's the situation we find ourselves in. 24-0 Holy Spirit. They've dominated now. Ward, miscommunication, has to get away, but he's going to be brought down by a host of Spirit defenders. McDevitt, Smith, you name them. About 4 guys around Ward. He had nowhere to go, and he'll lose 4 yards on the play.
It was almost like Ward turned the wrong way because Davis was in the slot at the bottom of the screen, and I think that was one of the I think they were looking to get like the smoke screen to him and let him make players miss and get some yardage, but the quarterback turned the wrong way.
Eric Roman also in on that sack. Ward on 2nd and long. Right side, that one is caught by Carter Jr. So finally some positive yards for Camden. They'll get that sack back in a little bit more, but it's still going to be 3rd and 8 here for the Panthers.
And timeout, Holy Spirit. I was just going to say it. I was wondering if Coach Russo was going to call the timeout there to try to preserve some of this clock. With Camden in a 3rd and 8 situation, they've really proven that they haven't been able to move the ball consistently enough. And with Holy Spirit calling this timeout, they're looking to try to put more points on the board before we get to halftime.
1:28 to go. Holy Spirit spent their final timeout right there. And as you measured, Dennis, trying to get the ball back one more time to really open up a huge lead going into the locker room. They still got to make a stop here.
Yeah, let's not put the cart before the horse. You got to get the 3rd down stop, get the punt team on the field. And remember, we're still sitting there with the possibility of a block punt. Put it out there.
It's been close twice.
Send the ball.
3rd and 8 for Holy Spirit.
I don't know that I would punt either if I was Camden. Here you go with Davis down here on the bottom of the screen.
Ward back, looking, stepping up. He's going to take off and run across midfield. Ward lowering the shoulder. He's going to get the first down as about 3-4 Spartans there to stop him. But Camden does get the first down, so they keep this drive alive.
And we'll now go into hurry up into the 2-minute drill with $1:19 to go here in the half.
Trips to the left now for Camden. Fresh set of downs to the Spirit 49. Anderson in the backfield. Ward back over the middle, incomplete, looking in the direction of Davis. They could not hook up, 2nd down.
And that time putting the pressure was Sean Finan, the 5'9 junior defensive end coming in again. That's what they're looking for, those speed rushers getting up the field. Almost ran a little stunt there with Finan and Smith on the outside. Smith kind of went up the field, and you had Finan coming right up the middle to put pressure and not allow Ward to step into that throw.
Trips to the left. 2nd and 10 for the Panthers. Ward back. Left side, Davis. Trying to set up a bit of a screen. Across the 40. 35-30. Davis to the edge. Down the left sideline. Davis knocked out of bounds just shy of the 10-yard line. And that is the danger when Teron Davis has the football in his hands.
Well, it was interesting. You called it, Nick. They were trips to the top of the screen, and nobody from Holy Spirit set up over top of him. So you had, if they were going with that smoke screen, he was going to be able to get at least a clear run of at least 5 to 10 yards. Linebacker wasn't able to get there. None of the cornerbacks, although Stewart was trying to get there to make the tackle. But Camden now knocking on the door inside the 15.
1st and 10 from the 14-yard line. Ward takes the shotgun snap. Looking. Trying to set his feet to the end zone. Overshot. Davis looking in his direction. Ward is down after the hit as he was thrown.
And you have Elijah Stewart there covering Davis. So that's a kind of like a pick your poison. You know you love your own wide receiver, but you have one of the best set of hands looking for a pick on the other end.
Ward was jogging gingerly back to the huddle, but does seem all right here. 2nd and 10. Trips to the bottom of your screen now. Coley, lone receiver up top. Ward, play fake, looking, rolling to his left, Throwing to the end zone, and it is incomplete. Looking for Davis again, but he ended up flowing out of the back of the end zone, and it is 3rd and 10.
Well, that time you had Ward under duress after he broke the pocket. He breaks it to his left, gets his feet set, and is able to make a throw into the back of the end zone. But what the Spartans did defensively there, they bracketed Davis in the middle of the field. So Davis, since the quarterback broke to the left, Davis in the scramble drills, he goes left with him, but just drifted, as you said, Nick, out of the back of the end zone for an incompletion.
44 seconds to go here in the half. Camden trails 24-0, but they're knocking on the door of their first score of the ball game. Ward back again. Right side. That one's caught by Nelson. Nelson across the 5, lowers the shoulder. Good tackle there by Elijah Stewart. It might be enough for a first down. It's going to depend upon the spot. And it will be a first down for, I don't know. 4th down marker across the way.
I think he's got it.
It was close. And they're going to hold the phone here. Official timeout, 26 seconds to go. We will get a measurement. It'll be 4th in inches or 1st and goal here for Camden.
So, Nick, in that situation, you had the wide receivers were able to run their routes and clear out both the D-backs and one of the outside linebackers, and that's why you had Nelson that open to take that swing pass to get inside of the Spartan 5-yard line.
And that one is clearly a first down. 1st and 10, or beg your pardon, 1st and goal for Camden.
But now remember, no timeouts left for the Panthers, and another big piece of this, they also received the second half kickoff.
Looking for a 2-for-1 here. Would not expect any runs on this set of downs here for Camden, because since they do, as you mentioned, have no timeouts.
I would expect some sort of fade or an out to the top part of the screen.
26 seconds.
Or the wide side of the field.
They did reset the clock, by the way, to 33 seconds, so Camden a little bit more time here. Ward in the shotgun. Now they'll run the clock. Ward, handoff up the gut. That's Nelson. The ball came out, but the referees are going to say he was down. But that's huge because the clock is going to keep running in less than 20 seconds. Camden's got to hurry. Nelson tried to dive. He broke a tackle and he tried to dive, and he lost the football, but he was ruled down. 2nd and goal. Ward, quarterback keeper, stood up at the line. Is he in?
It's got to be in.
Waiting on a signal. That is the halftime
touchdown.
Buzzer, and now there's the touchdown. It was delayed, but Lewis Ward punches it in at the buzzer for Camden. 24-6 is your score. Waiting to see what Camden's going to do here. If they get a 2-point conversion, they can cut it back to a 2-score game. And I believe Ward is going to stay on the field. He's jogging back to the huddle.
Yep.
So the Panthers will go for 2 here to try to close out the half. (24-6). Nelson in the backfield. Trips up top. Ward. Back. End zone. That is caught. The 2-point conversion is good. Terran Davis. Great catch. And it's 24-8 at halftime. Camden has cut it to a 2-score game.
And it was one of those things. That was a beautiful throw. It almost looked like they had the one receiver was almost like posted up in the front of the end zone, and then you had Davis coming along about midway through the end zone, making a beautiful diving catch before he goes out of bounds to get the 2 points for Camden to cut this to a 2-score game.
So Holy Spirit ended up racing up to a 24-0 lead, but Camden gets a much-needed score. to close out the first half, plus the 2-point conversion. So 24-8 at halftime. We will take a break, and we'll be back with second half action. Once again, your score at halftime, Holy Spirit 24, Camden 8. You're watching New Jersey High School Football.